It was really looking bad yesterday for the proposed commission to look into what happened in January 6th in DC, with virtually every high profile Republican coming out against it. Donald Trump called for it to end. Both Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy turned against it. Tucker Carlson was doing crazed monologues about it. And yet, at least in the House, it was overwhelmingly approved with a vote of 252 to 175. Didn't hurt that the Capitol Police sent a letter to officials shaming them for refusing to stand in support of the cops who protected them. Back the blue, as they always say. Well, they reluctantly were shamed into sort of backing the blue. But anyway, as of even last night, Republican leadership was still opposing it. And so we didn't know, but it did actually happen, Ida. So at least in the House, I don't know, do you think that enough Republican senators would potentially sign on to this, that it'll actually happen? Do you think that the commission is a good idea in the first place? Where do you stand on this?
So do I think enough Republicans, you know what's funny? I don't know anymore about the Republican Party because there was a time where, I mean, this year, what we saw on January 6th, we saw people flip from when the stuff immediately happened and the young woman was killed, people that spoke out against it, all of a sudden are now retracting their statement. So I don't know what to think of politicians in general, the Republican Party. What do I think about the, oh my God, when we have this conversation about law enforcement, I had an Uber driver just ask me yesterday, how do I feel about defunding the police? And how do I think we're gonna survive without having law enforcement? We need it. That really explains and everything on in our government, because I think that a lot of people don't really understand the terms and things of what's going on, and these politicians are hijacking these terms, just as what's happening with Israel. That there are a lot of people who are ill-informed. I think that any step towards making a better way in terms of law enforcement in this country is a positive step. And we have to remember that a lot of people who are in law enforcement are also Black and brown. And a lot of times they are also being held, hostage to a culture that subjects them to violence and being ostracized as well. And I think that we need to really be honest about what is happening with the militarization of law enforcement in our country right now, where we are watching in real time so many things happen. So I hope that there are some people, I've seen some Republicans speak out in a way that made me think maybe they do have, some of them have a conscience and some of them, and that's not to say that I think that all Democrats have a conscience, because a lot of them are negotiable. I just hope that at some point human consciousness kicks in, where they stop thinking about dollars and start thinking about humanity, because we are like running ourselves in the ground on all cylinders, like from the climate, law enforcement to toxic capitalism. Like we really think that we are invincible and immortal. The way that we behave, we act like we're gonna be here forever.
Yeah, I don't understand the way that some people behave. I would include an Uber driver asking about something as contentious as this. Seems like too much. If I'm in an Uber, that's too much. Back off, buddy. Let's talk about the Mandalorian or something. Let's keep it clean. But no, I think what you're saying is very reasonable. My fear is that, like, your expectations for people's rationality, sort of once again grappling with the actual issues that are facing the American people, regardless of what those issues might be. Like, we are so far away from that on some of these Republicans. Like, have you been seeing? Ron Johnson was just on Laura Ingraham last night saying it was almost entirely a peaceful protest. You had the Clyde guys saying they were just tourists. They were just walking in an orderly fashion, even though videos have come out of him cowering behind a guy with a gun and all that. Like, I don't know that any commission is going to get through to either those elected Republicans or their base, who similarly believes that there was nothing wrong with what happened on the 6th. But it does bother me that so many have turned so fully away from reality, that they'll pretend that all the violence and all that is fine.
But they weren't turning themselves away from reality. They were turning themselves towards their presumed constituency and dollars. And, I mean, this is so corrupt. Our government is so corrupt from the rooter to the tutor, as they say when we talk about a pig. It's just all of it. And when we talk about this particular January 6th incident, I mean, just to see there, you know what it is, John. This is where I am now. And I apologize because I was thinking about something else when I was speaking earlier, but I still stand by what I say. When we talk about these people don't have any shame anymore. They are on record. We have videos of them saying one thing and now saying something else.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but that is. So I just feel like, why do we rely on these people to have a consciousness? And I think Republicans and Democrats alike, if you really are, like you say, about the United States of America being better, why wouldn't you pay attention to people who lie to your face? Those should be the first people you should think about getting out, because at any moment they will switch for whatever is convenient for them, and never, ever give a damn about. Like, I wouldn't, even if I was a conservative, and I really am a conservative, and especially these evangelicals. Why would you be supporting someone that is a unapologetic liar?
Yeah, and some of these Republican senators, I mean, I guess maybe they learned a lesson from Donald Trump, but like the guy who said the Taurus thing, like he remembers how terrified he was. Like if you've ever like feared that you were about to die, that sticks with you, I think. So he knew, he was terrified that he was gonna be murdered that day. And then a couple months later, he's saying, no, there's no problem at all. Donald Trump wants me to be a part of this lie. So I guess that's what I'll do. That's my career now. I'm gonna pretend that I wasn't absolutely horrified that I'd never see my family again. It's sickening.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.